Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this hydrangea card. I am using this butterfly flowers. I think it's actually perfect butterfly flowers from Jeanine's art, and it's called Hydrangea. So in the set you get the stem, you get the base flower, then you get three sort of graduating sizes of flowers, and these are really lovely to use on other projects too. You don't just need to use those, and also foliage if you're looking for some leaves. So we've got the two bigger leaves and then these two smaller leaves. So I decided to go for very traditional hydrangea colours, and I have used a blue card. This kind of, I know it's almost a cornflowery blue, but what I've done is I've actually done some just not random but sort of fairly random inking onto the card before I cut it, because when you look at hydrangeas, particularly blue obviously hydrangeas, they all have this purpley pink, and it's not in just in one area. It kind of it's all over and fairly random. So that's what I've used to create this. And then for the leaves, again, it doesn't show particularly, but I've used two different colours of ink. I've put a layer of shabby shutters on, and then over that a layer of rustic wilderness, and not particularly tried to get the rustic wilderness completely covering, so you get little bits of the lighter coming through. So we're going to do the inking first, and then we'll do the die cutting, and I'll show you how it all fits together. So we'll start now. I'm not going to do this whole piece of card. I have some leaves already done, so I need kind of enough to cut out my three. Now I'm not using the stem in this particular project, so I don't need that one out. I'm just going to cut a piece of card. We'll do about that size so you get the idea. Okay, and like I say, these are the two colours I'm going to use. I'm going to start, and I'm just going to grab a piece of paper to so I'm not getting, well, to be honest with you, I probably will get my fingers on it because it's a small bit of card. Right, so I am just literally covering the whole of this piece of card, because it's obviously got a little bit of a mark on it, but I'm not too bothered about that because it adds to the texture of the leaves. So this is a really nice green. I don't use this one very much. I tend to go for Twisted Citron, but this isn't quite as acidy, although it is an acid sort of green. It's not quite as in your face as Twisted Citron. So literally I've put shabby shutters all over, and now I'm going to take Rustic Wilderness and a lot of ink on that brush, and I'm going over so you can see that I'm getting the colour on, but I'm not worried if I've got some of that shabby shutters coming through, and I'm not worried if some of the areas are darker than others. It just gives me a little bit more of a, so if it's looking patchy is really what you're after. Okay, so just put that one to one side. So that's our bra leaves, and then where's my blue piece? Where's my blue piece? Now, again, I'm not going to need the whole piece, so let's right, okay, before I go any further, I just need to check what I did with the the dies. Oh, the leaf dies. Phew, I was thinking, oh, lost the dies. Right, so those are for that. Right, now for the card you need 3 of these, so obviously an A4, I think I did an A4 piece, or that was for all my prep, so you probably don't even need that. The other thing that you need is, I've got to try and remember my numbers now. Obviously, you need one base. You need 3. That's 1 cut of these. You need 4 of these. And I'm saying that is because what I did is I looked on here. And you can see there's 3 of the bigger size. So what I did was I layered them over. I needed 4 of this side. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I can't remember if I needed 7 or 9 of these. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of these. So you need a couple of cuts with those. But once you've inked the card, and they're easy enough to run through a few times to get the effect. Okay, so this again is one that I'm not looking for a perfect blend on, because I want it patchy. I want some of the blue card going through. I want some of the shaded lilac, and I want some of the seedless preserves. Okay, so this is shaded lilac. Now it's a purpley one, but it's a very, oh, if I put it in the ink, but it's a very bluey purple. Not too far away from the actual colour of the card, so I'm just literally going over like so. And then I'm going to get my seedless preserves, and this one is a much more reddy pinky purple, and I'm putting that on like so, again patchy. And then I'm going back in with my shaded lilac to blend that. Doesn't look quite so brush marky. Okay, so that's all I did for that. Let's put the lids back on there. Our ink out away because we're done with our ink, and on that. Okay, so now what we need to do is to die cut. So I'm going to just place these over, kind of looking for variegated bits, so we get some different tones. And then same on the leaves, just going to use some nice sort of variegated bits to put those on. And I need some tape. Now the ink is still a little bit wet. You can heat dry it if you want. I have forgotten to bring my heat gun today, so we are winging it, but it will work. I just need to make sure I've got enough tape. Oh, there's my tape. Just to hold them down. And I'll bring my cutting plate in, because the other thing that you can do when you're in that sort of situation is actually tape it onto the board, the cutting mat, sorry. I spent my time placing them, and then I move it all, don't I? Okay. There we go. So let's run that through. Now the if you see on here, it doesn't emboss. It actually cuts those veins in the leaves. So when I first saw it, I thought, oh, I'd be able to ink over the embossed areas, but no, there are no embossed areas. They are cut, as you can see from the back there, and I think that will come out just slightly not there. But I am just I'm going to take those off. Got to run this one back through again with a couple of little areas that have not quite cut. So what I don't want to do is rip them up. So let's pull that out. Okay, right, so take the tape off. Leaves. Oops, don't forget the little leaf. You can see I used shimmer, and you can see that the ink has come off on that, which is better than on your plate to then contaminate another project. Right, I'll put those in the bin. Hopefully I won't need them again because I have already pre-cut a few. So bring these in. That's nice. Oh, excuse me, I've just one of my flower heads on the floor. Grab that for a moment and pop those out. You can see they are not the same, and that's what I want. I don't want them all looking the same. Again, particularly those look good. Those are not looking the same at all. Now, with this one, there are no bits that cut out. There are lots of holes in here to help you get the dye out, but nothing comes out. So I mean, it all just cuts, and that's got a really lovely sort of spread of the ink colour. I think that looks really nice. So these are two that I've already done. That's what I'm aiming for, and I'll show you how to assemble, how I assembled it. It doesn't mean that you have to assemble them this way. I like the idea of following what was on there, and really like the results. So yeah, but if that's not for you, then that's fine. You can see here a nice kind of variegation in the colour of the leaf. That one out. So, and then like so, there are my leaves. Right. Oh, so all my dye bits are back in the pack. Okay, so like I said, I have already got myself some of the other ones cut, just because you don't need to see me running through something through 3 or 4 times when I do exactly the same thing every time. So I used 3D glue gel. I just found it easier to build this up. Now, if you look at the way, let me grab a piece of paper to put under this so you can see a white piece. You can see that, you know, where things are layered. So these larger ones are supposed to be towards the back. So I'm going to do those first. And all I've done is, all I'm going to do is literally just push up the petals just to give them a little bit more dimension. So I need 3 of these. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel in the centre of where those flowers should be. And I'm going to grab my tweezers, otherwise I'm going to keep doing what I did just then, which is putting my fingers in the glue. Right, there we go. Right, so then I need 4 of the next side. So 3 that I cut just now, and 1 I cut before. And again, the same. Just push up these petals. I'm going to push all the petals before I add any glue. Got a curled bit of paper and I keep catching my arm on it. Because you will cut, you know, as you're cutting multiples of these, you'll cut them out of different parts of the card that you inked. You are going to get different colours, you know, sort of different variations of the colours. They're all done, which looks really nice. So the 4 next size ones are here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, that was a very good bit of glue there, but it should hold. So 1, 3. You can see the contrast in the colours here, which I really, really like. I put my finger in the glue, didn't I? Never mind. I'm on there. Okay, and then I need 7 of the the smallest ones. How many else I've got there? A couple more than I need. 1, 2, 3, and oh, come on. You know you want to 4. So I have 7, and if I need more, no. I remember doing this and then thinking, oh no, I need more than I had. I think I originally thought I only needed 5. I'd kind of not seen a couple of them. I cut it all out and I was like, oh no, I need to cut more. But you know, you could cut even more. You could layer this further if you wanted to. I mean, and if you really want to spend some time, you could ink the centers of the flowers, because they are predominantly this sort of purpley pink color. But what I decided to do was to use some really little purple sparkly gems, just to add a center and a little bit of definition. It definitely needs something in the middle of the flowers, because they don't look quite right if you haven't put something in the center. So, ooh, looking at it. Right, so let's see if we're right with the number. There's 1, 2. I know there's 1 in the middle there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I was right. 7. There we go. Just grab my before I put my finger in it. And there you can see the difference in colour. I just think it really adds to the whole effect of the hydrangea. And oh, I was going to say, oh, in the middle. Okay, so now I want to put my little sparklies in. So I'm just going to get my thin glue. I'm not thin. I keep saying thin glue. It's my fine glue applicator. And what I don't want to be doing is sort of pushing down. So I just literally want to dab a drop into the middle of each one. Like so. Have I got one in everyone? I think so. And then I'm going to use my little pencil. I think it needs a bit of a sharpen, but not to worry. To add my little gems on. Rid of my spare flowers. Okay, so literally just popping them onto the little glue drops. She says, oh, I got something on the end of this pencil. Oh, come on. You know you want to. Definitely needs sharpening, I think. There we go. Are we on a roll now, maybe? Maybe. Ooh. No. I think where my pencil is quite blunt, and these are quite small, what's happening is it's going into the glue, so it's picking up glue and then not wanting to let go of the next little gem. Oh. How many more do we need? 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. Right, okie dokie. Let's put all of those bits aside. We don't need those now. And I'm going to bring in my card. So I've just got a white base, and I've used some green card that's similar to the colours that I've used for making the leaves, and then a piece of the same blue card that I have used for inking. I'm going to take that because it was white on white. I couldn't see where the edge of the card was. Because so this is going on top of the green. So like so, it just brings a nice sort of matte layer, but it brings the colours, you know, of the image into. Okay, so now it's a case of be careful with this one because it is still wet. It's now a case of putting and I've lost a little gem off of that. Oh dear, luckily I have a spare. Otherwise it will annoy me. There we go. Right. I'm going to use glue gel, I think. So I'm going to layer them. This is my new one, so I'm going to try and put that one on the top. So let's bring that one there, just to work out where that's going to go. Kind of there. So let's put that one on first. Now I can put this one on with, not if I've got the lid on. I can put this one on with the glue, but the others are going to need to go on more with the 3D glue gel. It's because I'm layering over uneven things. So go in like so. And then this one, oops, will go over the top there. More like that. I'm not too worried that I'm sort of fiddling and I can see the glue because I'm going to put leaves over the top of this in a moment. That does need to come further in, like so. And actually, that I should have used 3D under there, which I'm going to because I need to be able to slot the leaves in. That was one thing I did forget. Right, so I've got my leaves. Got a couple of extra ones there, which I've done a little bit lighter. That's okay. So I'm going to start with the larger leaves. So what I'm doing is now just kind of doing a bit of a ring. I just put a bit of glue sort of on the bottom edge just to so that it sticks not all over. And it's just, it really is a case of trying to decide what's going to look better for you. You know, it's personal thing. I have kind of done them mostly in pairs. Found that it, with the big leaves, I found that it looked better. Another big one there, or a small one. Another big one, I think. Because I've got this on 3D glue gel, I can still sort of wriggle, fiddle, you know, kind of decide where I'm going to put all these things. It's entirely your choice, really. So yeah, I am literally faffing now. This is the sort of thing that I can just sit and I would literally sit and faff for quite a while until I'm happy. So I'm going to also use the little ones, just the dilly little ones. I'm going to get my tweezers on these because I think actually I'm going to need another one. Maybe. So even though these smaller leaves are way smaller than the others, they still perform a really great job. And if you're looking for sort of small foliage for other projects, they are perfect. There. Put my tweezers right where I want to put the glue. It kind of makes it look a little bit more complete, like a hydrangea bush. I don't think we need those ones, so I'm just going to put those back into my little pot. And all that remains is for us to put our sentiment on. And again, 3D glue gel, because obviously we've got a lot of depth on the hydrangea, so we need to make sure that our thank you is going to, in fact I might stick it just under there. It's going to actually stick. So there we have our hydrangea card. Nice little inking to create our flowers and things, and you know, showing that you can ink onto colour card. It doesn't have to just always be straight onto white, and obviously creating our leaves as well. So I used the blue card with shaded lilac and seedless preserves, and for the leaves it was shabby shutters and rustic wilderness. And of course for the actual hydrangea itself, it's this beautiful Jeanine's Art Perfect Butterfly Flowers, the hydrangea die. Have a look on the channel. I've got a few other projects with dies from this range from Jeanine's Art. So have a look, see what else we've got. Thank you for joining me.